Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, is one of the most popular anime ever made, having fans globally everywhere from China to Europe and Africa, and a very strong fan base in Latin America. This can be seen in many anime conventions on YouTube. Many popular anime have been influenced by Saint Seiya, including Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Samurai Troopers, and some of the Gundam series. In the US, it was badly mismanaged by a company called Dick, and it failed, but a lot of other bad decisions were made. So when a live action was announced by Sony, everyone panicked, because almost everything Sony makes is terrible. Like Hollywood hasn't learned their lesson from all the terrible live action anime they have produced. For a long time, Hollywood has tried to sell us a live action anime and has miserably failed. These live action adaptations can go back since the 90s, but one legendary train wreck is an adaptation of one of the most popular live action animes, Dragon Ball. It was hilariously bad. The movie has become a meme in the anime fandom, one of the worst adaptations ever made, and has made anime fans ask themselves, is this even the anime anymore? The classic and popular animes named Saint Seiya just got a similar treatment. However, it was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. The only downside was the writing, and they didn't include 3 other saints. We'll talk about that in a bit. Now here's a brief summary of the movie, so spoilers. The anime Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac is about 88 saints of Athena who must protect her and Earth in the war against Hades and Poseidon. The main character Seiya is iconic in the shonen community for his unique horse-like armor. The anime has 5 main characters, or 6 if you count Athena. However, in this live action we only see 3. This live action has been in the works for years and was finally released in 2023 to mixed and some negative reviews. So what did I think as a Saint Seiya fan? Well, it's okay, nothing super special, but not Dragon Ball Evolution, although the writing was strange. I wonder who the writers were. I need to do more research on the writers, and I'll get back to you guys on them. Also, I know they wanted to keep the budget low, but we should at least seen Hyoga, Shiryu, and Shun in the last 5 minutes, like the Avengers, when it ends in the credits and then we see Thanos. You know, something similar to that. The film starts with some kind of ring fight. No, unfortunately, it's not the Galaxian Wars tournament. It's just a regular UFC cage match. Seiya, played by Japanese actor Makenyu, is forced to fight against some random guy when Cassius interferes, and they engage in a pretty cool fight. I'm not gonna lie. When Seiya's cosmos explodes, it was looking like some cool anime CGI shit. Later, he meets Almond Kido, played by a guy who was in Lord of the Rings. After some bad dialogue, he is kidnapped and taken to Kido's mansion, where he meets Sienna, aka Athena, and the bad dialogue and the acting just keeps coming. So after all that BS, we finally see some improvement when the story starts moving, and he is sent to train with Eagle Marin. Marin was one of the best moments in this movie, because Marin is such a cool character, and she is played by a real redhead. Finally, a real redhead plays a redhead. We get a training montage and some amazing CGI Cosmo scenes. During this time, the movie really improved. So after the training, some stuff happens and Seiya abandons the training and he gets into a confrontation with Marin. He returns and Seiya and Asina run away and then return when Gurad attacks the mansion. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention Gurad? She's like the wife of Kido and she's evil and she does stuff. Well, she's a pretty interesting character, I'll say that. Interesting because she wasn't really in the anime. But a while later, they are attacked. And when they return, they are attacked by the Black Saints in a pretty cool scenes. We see the butler Tatsumi, or Mylock as he is called here, taking on a couple of Black Saints in battle. And I like for some bizarre reason, I like that scene. It just looked kinda cool. Asina is captured and the mansion is blown up. The actual explosion for the mansion was awkward. So Seiya goes to rescue Asina with Mylock's help. Typical storytelling for Saint Seiya. Because in the anime, Asina is kidnapped and saved a lot. Seiya finally transforms and KOs Cassius. Meanwhile, Miro, Gurad have a fallout, and he whoops her and takes what appears to be a golden armor. One intense final battle with this anime style fight similar to the anime Pegasus vs Phoenix in one cool battle. After a brief battle with Neros, Seiya saves Sienna and we see a surprise. Purple hair Asina is shown. Other stuff happens and I don't want to go into too much detail, too much spoilers, but that's most of the story. Yes, it was okay, and I watched it twice to see if I missed anything, but I didn't. The story is short, simple, and pretty easy to understand, with small references to the anime and similar fight scenes. The story is vastly different from the anime, however, many of those changes are to save time. Now let's address the missing saints. Where is Shun, Shiryu, and Hyogo? I know it was for budget reasons, but they should have at least appeared at the end, like I said. Similar to Thanos in the Avengers. Or at least we see them arriving at the Galaxian Wars tournament. That would have been a pretty cool scene. Now the character Seiya, played by Makenyu, did a piss poor job at the beginning. Well, every time he talked at the beginning. The middle of the film he improved, but only slightly. Then we have Sayori, or Sienna, played by Madison Iceman. Her acting was also just as bad, but both of them improved towards the end. Sian Bean always does a good job, even with the terrible written script he was given. Famke Johnson did a decent job portraying the character of Gurad. Diego Tinoco as the Phoenix Saint was one of the best characters in acting and playing his role. Now the writers, you should fire them. Fire those writers. Awful job. Awful fucking job. The CGI and special effects were good in my opinion. People complain about some parts like the helicopter scenes. Even if they are true, are we going to ignore the CGI for the Incredible Hulk? That's god-awful CGI. The fight scenes were short, but they were usually dramatic and full of surprises. Like, come on, we see techniques and poses similar to the anime. Even if Seiya's armor was kind of ugly. Andy Chang, who did most of the stunt coordination for Shang-Chi, also worked with fight scenes for this film. For me, the CGI and special effects were done well for such a small budget film. The soundtrack for Knights of the Zodiac was composed by Shohiko Ike, a man with a lot of experience in the music industry, working on films and TV shows. He also worked on anime such as Dororo, Tiger and Bunny, and maybe, not by coincidence, Saint Seiya Battle for Sanctuary, the beginning. One film that he was well known for a while was Blood the Last Vampire. So anyways, the soundtrack was good, and Seiya's theme sounded a little similar to the anime, but wish we have gotten something heavy, like metal, like the metal opening for the anime. Courage by Pink was okay. Even if I'm not a Pink fan, I thought it was okay. And I'm not a Pink fan. But again, something closer to rock would have been better for me. Knights of the Zodiac's biggest flaw was the writing. Cian Bean sounded awkward, and he's a pro. This terrible dialogue did improve slightly. Another problem was where's the team? The 5 Saints of Athena? Well, 10 if you count the other guys. You should have at least appeared at the end, like I was saying, to save the film. One minor problem I had was Seiya's armor. It's so bland. I mean, in Mexico and many parts of Latin America, his armor has become somewhat iconic. I mean, the armor that resembles a horse was so unique. Seeing this is rare, or rare at the time. The story was changed for pacing reasons, so I understand, but I still believe they should have focused on the writing, and less on planes and helicopters. Some critics hated it, but I truthfully enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a bit cheesy and too simple at times, but for an anime adaptation, I think it's easy to get into. Something to just chill and have a few snacks. Just watch with friends, you know, something calm and relaxed. Sure, it's not the Da Vinci Code or The Giver or something super analytical. It's a treat for the fans and newcomers to the universe of Saint Seiya. It's not the anime shot-by-shot remake, but I felt I was watching Saint Seiya when the story started moving. I enjoyed this adaptation. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. For an ordinary person, maybe a 7 out of 10. Unless you're really picky or you like to hate on movies, then you would probably give it like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Maybe a sequel can improve on everything this movie was lacking. But as a long-time Saint Seiya fan, long-time anime fan, and I've watched a lot of the shows that were influenced by Saint Seiya. You know, the Gundam show, Samurai Trooper, Yu Yu Hakusho. So to me, it was beautiful. It was almost perfect. And I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy it this much. But what did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this movie. Share this video. Like the video. Thanks for watching, guys. It's JM. And I'm out. I'm out to go get some snacks.